So,
Shalom. All praise to the Most High. First and foremost, we want to give all honor, glory, praises to the Most High, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi.
all praise the Most High God. Call Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi.
Come on. Today we're going to be talking about being bold for the Most High, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, as an Israelite woman. And for sisters that are not aware or that don't know or that's new to the faith, Yahawah is whom the world ignorantly calls God. And ignorantly just means not knowing. Bahasham in the name of, and Yahawah is whom the word ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And the letter J wasn't invented until the late 1500s, early 1600s. So how can Jesus be his name if he was on the scene way before the letter J even was invented? So that's why we say Yahawah Bahasham, just for sisters that don't know, for edification purposes. We're going to get into being bold for Yahawah Bahasham as an Israelite woman. And I got the beautiful, beautiful, mighty sister Yawanah.
Oh, Most High.
Because we're gonna get into being bold for the Most High as an Israelite woman because it's something that must be talked about. We're not gonna get too deep or anything, but we just gonna talk about it like a just sisters talk, Bible study. But it's something that needs to be talked about because even as women, we have to know what's acceptable and what's not unto the Most High God. We can't be breaking the Sabbath, wearing pants at the workplace. We have to know when to put our foot down and be like, I'm going to serve my God. I'm not going to give into this world just to please man. I'm not going to give into this world for my flesh. We got to be bold for Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. So that's what we're going to be getting into today because, it's just something that needs to be talked about. You want to say something?
Like you. I was looking at this precept. But, fine. We just got to make sure that we're all just continuously praying for boldness and that we don't wax weak or faint in this thing or don't fall victim to the ways of this world because it's easy to want to be like, oh well, I'm toes, oh I'm trying to be harmless, blameless. No, we gotta be bold. Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. We gotta recognize that also that we gotta count the costs.
Yes.
Coming into this truth, we gotta count the costs of being a servant of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. We say that we want to serve the Most High God and we want to make it to the kingdom. We gotta be willing to see, okay, I can't be a man pleaser in this thing.
Right.
I'm not gonna please everyone.
Right.
And it just doesn't add up. It doesn't work. It doesn't complement one another. It just doesn't. That's the quicker we realize that, the easier it'll be. And all these things are preordained. We're preordained of all men. We're preordained, to go through affliction and be content for this faith. All of that is predestined. But can't you if you want to get into the first one?
Let's kick this thing off. It's all praise to the Most High that we're here. First, I want to get these two precepts before we get started. I'm just going to read them really fast. 1 Peter 4 and 11. It says 1 Peter 4 and 11. And if any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Yahawah. If any man minister, let him do it as the ability which Yahawah giveth, that Yahawah in all things may be glorified through Yahawashi, Mashiach, to whom be praised and dominion forever and ever. Amen. So, we just want to speak the oracles of the Most High. We don't want to get on here and speak out of our own belly because it's only of the Lord that we are able to speak his words to life. It is only of the Lord that we have knowledge, that we have wisdom, that we have understanding. It is only of the Lord. So we want to give all praise and glory to the Most High, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, all the days of our life. And then I'm gonna get Hebrews 10:24, and let us consider one another. Let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good work. So we're on here trying to provoke our sister unto good work, unto good love. Just to be bold for the Most High in this thing. And I don't mean like get on the car top screaming, I'm an Israelite, and y'all gonna die. That's not what we mean when we say be bold for the Lord. But we're gonna get into what we mean a little bit later.
I wanted to get a couple precepts down from the 1 Peter chapter 4 precept you brought out, just to kind of jump in that thing.
Okay.
Yeah, First Peter chapter 4, verse 14.
Mm.
And it reads, If ye be reproached for the name of Christ, happy are ye, for the spirit of glory and of God resteth upon you. On their part he is evil spoken of, but on your part he is glorified. So boom. If we're reproached for the name of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, that's a good thing. That's something that we should be glorying in. We shouldn't be, dang, my best friend don't mess with me no more. She talking about me, gossiping all our friend group and this, that, and the third. My parents not talking to me no more. They done took whatever from me. Whatever the case is, we gotta be glorying in that because we're being reproached for a good cause, the best cause.
Mm-hmm. Say
Yeah,
that.
how shy, and we gotta be happy about that thing. And this is it's not easy. It's not easy. People you love, switching up and stuff like that. People starting to hate you. Folks you didn't know. Folks you did know. It's a lot. I'm not saying it's not a lot, but we got to remember that we're supposed to be moving in the spirit of Yahawashi. And Yahawashi, he expected it. He expected it through the spirit, and we got to move in that same spirit and just continue to lean upon the Most High during these times, especially the times we're coming in. So, come on. We're going to be spoken of evilly, but, we glory in it.
All praise to the Most High. Yeah, we can't be like crying. Of course, feel how you feel. Because I know, like some of us, we probably was really close to certain people in the world. You probably had a best friend. And hold on, I'm just sending sisters a link to the live. You probably had a best friend in the world. You probably was really close to your sister or your brother or your dad. And when you came into the truth, things just changed. It's like the flip switch. It was different. So feel how you feel, get those feelings and thoughts into Yahweh Shema Shah, but we're not wallowing in that sorrow, because this is what the Lord said will happen. But I'm going to get Matthews 5:16. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. So ultimately, we want our light to shine in this dark world because the Most High, He called us to be a light in this dark world. And we know that light and darkness don't mix. What precept is that? It might be 2 Corinthians. Yes, 2 Corinthians 6:14. And it's also a precept of Sirach that said, it's 2 Corinthians 6:14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion have light with darkness? So light and darkness don't mix, they clash. The flesh and the spirit, it clash. So when we're in this world, in this very dark world where they've turned good into evil and changed the most high truth into a lie, everything we do is wrong in their eyes, but everything they do is supposed to be right. So light and dark, it don't mix. And because we're a light in this dark world, people are gonna hate you. Your spirit gonna irritate their demons. Folks gonna have something to say. Why she always got that dress on, that hair wrap on? Why she walk around always with that purse on like that, or her hair wrap like that? Why she always talking about that Bible and talk about God? Those things are gonna happen. People are gonna always have something to say because you don't mix with them. It's like, heck, what's an ingredient that don't go together? Like you just don't mix. So folks gonna have something to say. They don't like you. You irritate them. You talking about that Bible makes them mad. It bothers their demons. It bothers them because they got them demons on them. So just want to point that out. Light and darkness don't mix, and that's why we be hated of our men. That's why people be tempting us. Why you just can't come smoke this blunt with me? Why you just can't work on a Sabbath day? Why you want to dress like a grandma? Why you don't want to wear no booty shorts? Because you're light. But kind of you.
That's very true. And when they ask you to do that stuff, you gotta be like, because the Lord said not to.
Right.
Because
Like,
not to. You gotta be bold in that thing.
right.
Go ahead.
Right. What you say?
You gonna say something?
Yeah, people, they gonna scoff. They definitely gonna scoff. And we just gotta be willing to drink the same cup as Yahawah did. Like the sister Lily, she did a video, I think about 2 weeks ago, and it was called "I Had to Speak on It," and she was basically kind of going into the same thing we're going into. Like we gotta be bold for the Lord. Like some things it shouldn't even cross our mind to do because we fear the Lord. And this is Matthew's 20 and 22. But Yahawah answered and said, "Ye know not what you ask. Are you able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of, and to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with?" They say unto him, "We are able." So when you go into this word baptism, it just means afflictions. That's all it means. This is Matthew's 20 and 22, and we're going to get the definition of the word baptism. This is the Strong's Blue Letter Bible. It gives you a biblical definition. Sometimes they're not always accurate, so use discernment. But this is Strong's G908 of calamities and affliction with which one is quite overwhelmed. So when Yahawah was saying, "Are you able to drink of my cup and be baptized with the baptism I am baptized with?" he was basically saying, "Are you able to go through the same afflictions that I went through? Are you able to be persecuted of all men? Are you able to be hated of all men? Are you able to go through being mocked of, being talked about, being spit on?" Because those are the same exact things Yahawah went through. And if Yahawah went through those things, we're going to go through those things as well. And I want to get John 15 and 18. And it says, "If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world, the world would love his own. But because you are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you." So we're not of this world. So they're going to hate us. We don't do the things they do. We are seen as fools in their eyes. We're seen as weirdos. Why she want to take off work on a Saturday? Don't she got bills to pay? She missing money. Why she always taking off once a month for something called New Moon? She missing money. She gonna be broke. We're seen as fools in her eyes, as Paul said. But because we're not of the world. It says, "Remember this word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also." So, we're not greater than our Lord Yahawah. If Yahawah got persecuted and you trying to get the kingdom, oh, you can get persecuted too. And we got to get ourselves ready for those times to come. Like right now, this is just surface level. This is just surface level. But when our hell break loose and Jacob's trouble, it's going to be like no other. And that's why it's very important that we talk about these things so we can try our best to get right and get our spirits right, get our mind right for these times coming, and go over these precepts and read about our forefathers and what they went through and how they handled it. You got to read the book of Acts. You got to read the book of 2nd Maccabees, chapter 6, chapter 7. Acts is a really, really great book when it talks about persecutions, but Acts chapter 5 is really mighty. That's why Paul said Romans 15 and 40, the scriptures are here for our learning, so we can go back and look at when our forefathers was faced with afflictions and temptation and what they did. They endured. They died for Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. And there's a crown of righteousness laid up for them. So how much more us? But I was bringing out what the sister Lily said just to say, she was basically going to say, some things shouldn't even be coming across our mind, shouldn't even be a question in our mind. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember when I first came into the truth, I was working the Sabbath day. I just had that mindset of, oh, the Lord will have mercy. I wasn't really in this thing, but now don't even dare ask me to work on a Saturday. It ain't happening. It's not happening. You gotta be bold for your Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. You gotta be like, no, I'm not breaking the Sabbath day. When we were doing those things, we gotta repent. But no, we're not breaking the Sabbath day. No, I'm not changing out of my skirt into some pants for this job. No, I'm not doing it. No, I'm not coming in on a new moon. No, I'm not eating pork. I'm not gonna eat that because I don't know what kitchen you cooked in. It might got pork. I'm not doing it. Some things shouldn't even be a question in our mind, but you got it.
Come on, man. We gotta have that same zeal our righteous forefathers and foremothers had. And I did want to pull. Chauncey, do I pull it now or later? But I think I'll pull it now. But this is something I read a little bit earlier. I was like, look at that. But this is the additions to Esther, chapter 5 and verse 12.
This and Esther got some mean precepts,
Oh
actually.
yeah.
Definitely. Especially that one when they was talking about, we're strange, basically like we're strange people and we different and we do contrary to what they do. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what verses you want?
Um
chapter?
Slakia. 15 and 12. I think that's what I want. Wait, wait,
Okay.
wait a minute.
Is it 13 or 12?
What?
I
No,
might
no,
gotta read this
it's
again.
14. It's 14. It's 14 and 12. Slakia.
You stop watching me. Okay, I'm there.
All right, fine. And it reads, Remember, O Lord, make thyself known in time of our affliction, and give me boldness, O King of the nations and Lord of all power. So you got the mighty, mighty foremother Esther praying this, sending this up to the Lord. Say, make thyself known in the time of our affliction. The Most High wants us to call upon him when we're going through these things, when we're being persecuted of all men. We're being hated, we're facing
Us to call upon him when we're going through.
up certain things, whatever the case is. We want to call upon Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi and ask him to give us not only endurance and strength to get through those afflictions and the glory in those afflictions, but we want him to grant us boldness to keep going, boldness to keep following the law, statute, commandments, even when they tempt you. I say, hey, you stop wearing them fringes, and if you don't, we gonna take your kids. You gotta be like, hey, I'm not. No, for any of the law, statute, commandments, you gotta be bold in this thing, bold to keep these law, statute, commandments. Six of us, he granted us these commandments. No other nation. He's given us a chance of salvation, so we gotta take that seriously. We gotta be about our Father's business, like Yahawashi.
Mm-hmm.
But I yield if you got anything to say on that.
I just can't believe it's already about 7:30. Goodness.
Oh man, already? Oh man.
Already, man. But we ain't gonna quench the spirit though. It's Matthew's 10 and 22. Pretty much the same thing I already brought out. But actually, I want to get this first. I want to get that precept of what you just said. What did you just say? Um,
About my Father's business.
the other one.
Uh,
I forgot that fast. What was it?
what did I just say?
Oh, I forgot that fast. It's okay. Matthew's 10:22. I remember. This is Psalms 147 and 20.
Mm.
He have not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. So the Lord has not dealt with any nation. He has not given his laws, statute, commandments to these other nations. He's given them unto us. So they're gonna want you to transgress the laws. They're gonna be like, so why can't you just work Saturday again? So why can't you come to work in your jeans again? Okay, well, how about this? You don't wear that, you're gonna get fired. They're gonna do that. Even Satan gonna hop on some Israel because some Israel ain't down. Some Israelites don't even want you keeping the commandments. They don't even want you talking about the Lord. He
Mm-hmm.
hasn't given his law to the other nations, so they have no desire to please him. They have no desire to keep the Sabbath. They have no desire to do anything righteous because they are literally born in wickedness, just like we were. But the law is not for them. And although we were going off in the Bible, we had some wicked Israelites, but it was some Israelites keeping the law. But nowhere in the Bible did you see the heathen keep like you unless they was like under my bad unless they was like under because we sometimes in the biblical days we had servants for the other nations, but we would all Israel was keeping the law though. But these heathen, they was doing whatever they want. They was doing whatever they want. So they have no desire to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. None whatsoever. So don't think it's strange when they tempt you, when they say, give up your child, or if they say like, I'm gonna kill your kids, you don't eat this pork. I'm gonna kill your kids if you don't do this or you don't do that. If you don't come in on the Sabbath day, I'm gonna fire you. You have to be like, okay, fire me. Do it. Go ahead. I serve Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. He already got another job lined up for me. Do what you seem best to do. You have to be that bold for the Lord. And I want to get a precept. I have a certain order how I want this precept to go, but the Spirit just doing what it want to do. No, I praise for it. But I want to just get this precept about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Um, I wanted to get verse number 17. If it be so, so basically, I don't want to spoil it, but if y'all haven't read this, go read it. They basically was getting thrown into a fire because they was not gonna worship down and fall no false and worship no false god. They was like, we're not doing that. I'm not doing it. And they was like, okay, throw you in this fire, and they got sent to the fire. Okay, so I'm gonna just read it. Verse 17. If it be so, our God whom we serve is, you know what? I'm gonna start at 15. Now, if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if you worship not, you shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hand? So the heathens, like I said, they have no desire, like we said through the Spirit, they have no desire to keep the commandments of the Most High because it wasn't given unto them. They're not trying to serve Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. They don't care about our law, statute, commandments. They say we're weird and that we're foolish. So they be scoffing like, who and what God gonna deliver you? You know, we got the greatest God on our side. And so at this point, they're like, if you don't bow down and worship this image, you're going to get put into this fire. And they said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer in this matter. If it be so, our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. But they was like, hey, do what you do, because my God gonna deliver me. Look, go ahead, put me in the furnace, because I got Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi on my side, and how much more in these times to come, even just right now, when they be like, if you can't come in, ma'am, I can't offer you this job because you don't want to work the Saturday. Let's say you get a good job offer, $35 an hour, $20 an hour, $15 an hour. I'm gonna be more realistic, 15 an hour, anywhere from $15 to $20 an hour. You get a good offer and it's part time, so you're bringing in a lot of money just for just maybe 4 hours. You bring in a lot of money, working part time, but you have to work on Saturday. But then you have another job that's maybe paying you 10 an hour, and you get Saturday off. Shoot, you even get Sunday off. You gotta go with the job where you got the Saturday off.
That's
No
right.
if and but about it.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be like, well, look, hey, the Lord, He could give me a raise. You gotta have the mindset of, look, the Lord could give me a raise. Look, the Lord, He could even He could give me an even better job off Saturday. They was like, look, if you throw into this furnace, they already had it in their mind that the Lord's gonna deliver them. Like, it was no doubt. They was like, okay, if you throw us in there, my God will deliver us. Our God will deliver us. So, do what you want to do, because He got our back even still. But then they said, but if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. So they, because of course the Most High, He do what He wants. So they like, well, even if you choose, even if the Most High choose not to deliver us from this furnace, we still gonna obey Him and not worship this image. We're still gonna serve Him. So even if the Most High still don't choose to give you a raise, even if the Most High, he doesn't want to give you a raise, you can't have that mindset. Well, like, oh well, the Lord ain't trying to give me a raise. Let me just go to this job that's trying to pay me $35, $25 an hour, on the Shabbat. You got to be like, nah, like, even if, the Most High don't see me fit to get this raise, even if He don't see me fit to get this or get that, I still got to keep His commandments. Because ultimately, at the end, He's going to bless you. He's going to reward you according to your faithfulness and your obedience. It might not be right now. It might not be tomorrow, but ultimately He's gonna reward you according to your righteousness. So I don't want to be long winded. I'm sorry. I just want to bring it out to show, like, regardless of what they put on the table, no matter how good it sounds, you have to choose life. You have to choose Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. And we might not be faced with a lot of temptations right now, but it's really going to heap up in these times to come. It's a lot of prophecy coming to pass right now. So we have to get in this mindset, like, these things are going to happen. There's nothing new under the sun. So you just got to remember, like, no matter what Esau put on the table, no matter how good of it sounds, you got to be like, no, no, no. No, do what you do. If you want to fire me, go ahead. If you want to cut my pay, go ahead. If you don't want to give me that many hours, go ahead. If you want to chop my head off because I don't eat that pork, go ahead, because my God is going to deliver me, because my God got something better for me. And even if He don't, you still going to be bold for Him.
Mm-hmm.
I yield.
God, that's right. And I'm gonna pull the classic. Proverbs 28:1. The wicked flee when no man pursue it, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. So if we proclaim to be righteous women in this truth, we gotta be bold as a lion. Lions don't get oh, cowardly and da 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 about, any little zebra. A zebra come up trying to, get kind of tough with the lion. The lion not, oh, oh man, oh my gosh. Y'all, some madness going on outside. Oh my goodness. Pray for our people.
Definitely have to.
But yeah, anyways, sorry, that was saying. But anyways, I wanted to get verse 4 too.
I definitely heard that.
Yeah. Y'all excuse the madness. Our people, man.
We're destroyed, and we gotta pray for Israel.
Yeah.
We have to.
Yeah. We really do. It says, they that forsake the law praise the wicked, but such as keep the law contend with them. So we take these law, statute, commandments. If we say, oh, well, I'm going to follow these commandments, but I'm not going to follow those, you're basically praising the wicked. That's what it is. You're praising the wicked. You're praising wickedness, and you're being a hypocrite at the end of the day. Because if you offend in one part of the law, you offend in all.
Come.
You offend in all. So we got to be bold for every single part of these laws, statutes, commandments.
Come.
Every part. We
You
got to
can't pick and
continue.
choose.
You said what?
You can't pick and choose.
Oh yeah, no. Can't pick and choose in this thing. That's not how this works. And be like, oh, okay, I want to follow this one and that one. No, that today I'm not really feeling that commandment. It don't work for me right now. No, we can't be moving that type of spirit. We got to be bold. We got to contend for the faith, contend for the law, and be bold as a lion. So I wanted to get another precept too, though.
Why are you getting that? I just wanted to say, like,
Mm-hmm.
that's why we also have to pray to the Most High that He keep His Spirit within us, and that He give us zeal to want to keep His law, that He keep His Spirit in us, so we want to keep, so we desire to keep His law. But we have to pray that every single day, because the Most High can take His Spirit any given second, and it's only of the Lord that we want to keep the commandments. First of all, it's not even of us. It's a precept to say that. It's literally not even of us. It's because He put that spirit in us. So that's why it's so important that that's why it's so beautiful that David prayed in Psalms 51, creating me a clean heart from the spirit within me, cast me not from thy presence, and take not the Holy Spirit away. Let me just get it. Let me pull it up on the screen. That's why it's so important David said that, because it's only of the Lord that we're able to do these things. It's only of the Lord that we're able to continue to keep these laws, statutes, commandments. So we have to ask the Most High to don't take His Spirit from us, because the minute He remove His Spirit, it's in game. It's over with. So we want to ask the Most High to keep His Spirit within us. So we have a desire to keep the law. So we'd be like, no, I'm not doing that, because the Spirit is in us. Look how you.
That's really true. That's very true. I'm gonna get 1 John chapter 4 and verse 17. And it reads, herein is our love made perfect, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment, because as He is, so are we in this world. So we have to be just like Yahawashi. Yahawashi was bold for this truth. He was about His Father's business. We just talked about that. So in that time of judgment, we want to be blameless. We want Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi to look down and be like, okay, this sister, she was a mighty sister. She stayed bold. She contended for the faith. She didn't stand down. She didn't, switch up and pick and choose. She wasn't ashamed. First and foremost, we got to be shown that we can earnestly contend for this faith with boldness, with everything we got in us. But I yield.
Mighty point. Our person Most High. I want to get Mark 10:35. And we just got to continue to endure, y'all. Like, and no matter what's faced with us, we just got to continue to do it. Because Look, take it from us. Um, hold on. This ain't what I wanted. Hold on. Mm, I think it's Mark 12. Take it from us. If you continue to endure, the Lord is gonna look out.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, like He's going to look out.
Come on.
Hmm. It's not that. It's something in Mark. Oh, sorry. No, that ain't it. Okay, you get your precept while I look for this.
Okay. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 62. And it reads, "Fear not then the words of a sinful man, for his glory shall be dung in worms." So we can't be fearful of whether it's the heathen, you got wicked family members, friend, random people in Israel, whoever. We can't be fearful of the words of the sinful man. You can't be fearful when they be like, "Oh, yeah, we're about to fire you. We're about to put you out of your house. We're taking away this, and that, whatever." We can't fear these words because we know at the end their glory is going to be dung and worms. And if there are people, that's going to be their end if they don't repent and come back to the Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi.
Come.
Come on. So we just got to keep that in mind. Like, that's something that we can be, meditating on. Like, okay, I don't want to be a man pleaser. Fear not the words of a sinful man. I can't be thinking, oh, what are they going to think about me and my modest apparel?
Mm-hmm.
Said that to wear something sexy or whatever, but you come up, in the modest apparel. And they're like, what is this? You can be like, this is me. This is what we doing.
This is me. This is me.
God. But that's the spirit we're gonna move in. We can't fear the words, oh, what are they gonna say? What are they gonna do? No. I know
I
it's
know.
getting dark to me, but
That show was like, what happened over there? Oh my God.
it's getting dark over here. But if you did you find your precept or
Kind I did. All praise to the Most High. It was
okay.
the same chapter. It was just verses down. But
Okay.
kind of the sister dropped the definition for zeal. It's great energy or enthusiasm in pursuit of a cause or an objective. So we want to have great energy, great enthusiasm to want to keep the law, statute, commandments of the Most High. How about Shemal Shai? It shouldn't be a thing grievous unto us. Like, oh well, I really don't feel like keeping the Sabbath today. This is the definition of enthusiasm. A thing that arouses. You know what? What am I doing?
Come, pull that thing up. Pull that thing up, Lord willing.
Let's see what enthusiasm means. Oh, that thing be getting on my nerves, y'all. It says intense and eager enjoyment, interest, or approval. A thing that arouses feelings of intense and eager enjoyment,
Mm,
interest, passion. I really don't like any commitment, excitement, devotedness, devotion. What does devotion mean? Love, loyalty, or enthusiasm for a post and cause. You got to be devoted to keeping this law, such a commandments. You can't be like, oh well, I got something going on. I remember when I first came into the truth. See, y'all, I'm just so thankful for the growth that the Most High has done on me. Like it's called a how about Shema. So when I first came into the truth, my graduation was on a Sabbath, and so I was like, and I now y'all know she flew from Florida to Texas in my graduation. That's my dog. But this is 2 years ago. And so I was like, dang, like, how about I have on a Sunday? And I wasn't married to my husband at the time. I wasn't courting anything like that. So I had asked the brother, I was like, okay, what if I just keep myself on a Sunday? He was like, it don't work like that. I was like, dang, you can't pick and choose when you want to keep your Sabbath. You can't pick and choose when you want to do the Sabbath. Okay, well, since I got something to do Saturday, I'll keep the Sabbath next Saturday. And then I'll just keep the Sabbath, maybe next month because I got a busy month. My job, they want me to work Saturday, so I'm just keep my Sabbath next week instead, so I can get this extra money. I gotta make my money. I really need this money, so I'm just gonna go in on a new moon. No, you gotta find some way around it. You gotta be like, I can't do that. You know, like my job I have now, the most he had it put in my spirit. I wrote down all the days I needed off, and it's called Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. I was able to get every single last. I have not had to work on a day that I'm supposed to be off for the new moon or for the Sabbath or for the feast day for a year, over a year. And it's because I wrote that stuff down. I gave it to him months in advance. Here, I need this off. I even wrote a little letter on why I need it. You got to use Esau's craftiness to your advantage. It's my religious belief. Can't do it. I wrote a little letter. You got to do what you got to do for your Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. And the Lord is definitely going to reward you. Like, if people coming to you and they offering you these job offers and they offering you these, well, I can give you this much money if you come in on this day. I'm telling you, if you flee from temptation, the Lord is not going to forsake you. I literally, I cannot make this up. I cannot make this up. I know y'all can't make it up. I know y'all got testimonies in y'all life where y'all turned down stuff and y'all said no. And I know the Lord has been looking out for y'all. And he's definitely going to continue to, as long as you continue to do what you're supposed to be doing. But I found my precept. Did you have something to say before I go to my precept?
I don't know. I was just thinking. I remember that time too with the graduation. Yeah, man.
But that was a different time.
But it
I
happens
remember.
more often than you think. People be like, "Oh yeah, well, I got this going on. Well, maybe can I just keep Sabbath this way?" No, stand firm on what you believe. If you
Mm,
believe that the
mm,
Sabbath is on Friday sundown, Saturday sundown, you gonna keep it like that. You're not switching it to Sunday because that's the day you got off. We're not doing that. No,
right.
we're standing
Right.
fast in what we have been taught,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
We can't
that's
be
it.
can't be flip flopping, waddling like a little fish that can't breathe in water. You just flopping everywhere. You don't know what you're doing. You're
Right.
not firm in this thing. You can't be like that. And I
Mm-mm.
mean, don't be over righteous. Like if you got a graduation on the Shabbat, I mean, that's not. Don't be over righteous. Just make sure your food is prepped. Make sure everything is already ready. I wanted to keep my Shabbat on a Sunday because I wanted to do my graduation party. So that was the only reason. But I mean, that like I said, different times. We 2 years later, so I would definitely do things differently. But that's why
Uh,
we follow in this truth. That's why we learn. I'm pretty sure we all made mistakes just coming into the truth. So all praise the Most High for the growth from them. But I wanted to get Mark 10:46. And they came to Jericho, and as he went out of Jericho and with his disciples, and a great number of people blind, but Bartimaeus, the son of Timaeus, sat by the highway side begging. And we heard that it was Yahushua of Nazareth. He began to cry out and said, Yahushua, thou son of David, have mercy on. I'm going to reread it so I can go a second. And when he heard that it was Yahushua of Nazareth, he began to cry out and say, Yahushua, thou son of David, have mercy on me. And many charged him that he should hold his peace. But he cried the more a great deal, thou son of David, have mercy on me. And Yahushua stood still and commanded him to be called. And they called the blind man, saying unto him, Be of good comfort, rise, he calleth thee. And he cast on his garment, rose, and came to Yahushua. And Yahushua answered and said unto him, What will thou that I should do unto thee? The blind man said unto him, Lord, that I might receive my sight. And Yahushua said unto him, Go thy way, thy faith hath made thee whole. And immediately he received his sight and followed Yahushua in the way. I want to get this. Many charged him they should hold his peace. What do you think that means when it says that he showed his peace? That he should shut up? That he should shut the freak up? Because I'm tired of hearing you calling this man name. Because I'm tired of hearing you talk about Yahushua and how much he's done. Shut up. I'm tired of it. But he cried the more greater. He said, Thou son of David, have mercy on me. Yahushua. He was like, ain't no telling. He was talking like Yahushua. You ain't no telling. We wasn't there, but you can just only imagine how crazy he was going for. Imagine he cannot see. He's a blind man. He just heard that Yahushua. He's trying to get his attention. He can't see Yahushua. He's screaming. But so like you. But kind, we, in this truth, people gonna get us to hold our peace. Shut up. Why are you always talking about God? I'm sick of you. I kid you not. I'm not making this up. There was one time I was saying I was excited, because me and my other one, we have a registry for our home, and we had the Most High had put on people's spirit to bless us with some things off our registry, and I was really excited. Oh, Most High. And same day, he hopped on my brother and said, "Shut up." People gonna do that. They gonna get you to hold your peace. That was him trying to get me to hold my peace from praising the name of the Lord. They gonna tell you, shut up. I'm sick of you talking about that Bible. I'm sick of praising that God. Shut up. Why you always doing that? Why you always talking about you gotta check the ingredients or something? Shut up. You always talking about you gotta keep the Sabbath day. Shut up. They gonna get you to try to shut up. They gonna get you to hold your peace. They gonna get tired of you. You gotta be like, hey, call like Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. You gotta continue to praise the name of the Lord, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, all the days of your life. You should never hold your peace. You gotta cry the more a great deal. You gotta be like, hey, call like Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. I'm not studying none of you talking about. Nothing. And you also gotta understand everything spiritual. So you just gotta be like, that was Satan. Just wink at it, keep it pushing. Hey, call like Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. But I yield.
Come on. Come on. Hey, mighty point. Yeah, people gonna scoff. People gonna do what they do, but we're not responsible for what they do. We're responsible for our actions.
Definitely.
What we do about it. You know, are we gonna take heed to their words over the words of the Most High God?
Mm-hmm.
Yahweh forbid.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
get this precept in Ephesians. Just going into how our boldness comes by our faith as well. It's Ephesians chapter 3, and I'm gonna start at 11, and it reads, according to the eternal purpose which he purposed in Christ, Yahawashi, our Lord, in whom we have boldness and access with confidence by the faith of him. So by us having boldness and access with confidence by the faith of Yahawashi, these, how do I want to word this? How do I want to word this? Okay, so we got to basically have faith that the Most High will grant us boldness in this truth that, we're keeping these law, statute, commandments. He's going to make a way for us. That we're going to have that eternal life, Lord willing. That we're going to have that crown placed upon our heads. That, Lord willing, Yahweh Shai says, great job, thou faithful servant. And we got to keep praying and studying these accounts that the Most High has graciously given us, going over how to be bold for the Lord. Because he gave us examples right here in the Bible. Examples on examples. You got 2 Maccabees, chapter 6, chapter 7. You got Esther, you got Judith. You got dang near every story in the Bible
That was bold.
were are accounts of boldness. Being bold for the Lord.
Damn, we think about it. That's true.
Yeah. You gotta think about it like there was no weak, oh, somebody who was just so timid and, ashamed of the Lord and they were spoken nice things about them. We're to say that. You're not gonna find it. That's not pleasing in the sight of the Most High. Wanting to please man. It's idolatry. If you think about it, you putting whatever boss, friend, family member above the Most High. That's idolatry. And no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So we can't be moving in that kind of spirit. And just like the sister was saying earlier, the book of Acts, just mighty book to get into, especially going
Mm-hmm.
with this topic. I wanted to get Acts chapter 9 and verse 29. Ooh. And it reads, and he spake boldly in the name of the Lord, Yahawashi, and disputed against the Grecians. But they went about to slay him. So there you go. This is Saul. This is Saul right here. Before he turned into Paul. But they tried to slay this man. Just for speaking boldly in the name of Yahawashi. And just like how the men are going to be persecuted, it's not just going to be the men that will be persecuted, going out there shaking the hand, been the Most High's people to come back to Him. Same thing with us. We're trying to follow the law, statutes, commandments. We might be talking to a coworker here and there, some whatever, talking to a family member boldly, saying, "Call Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi," saying it out loud, not call Yahawah Bahasham. Not trying to say the Lord's name in public. You ashamed to, you know, have your head wrapped, and go away to pray or whatever it is. No, he said he spake boldly in the name of the Lord. You gotta do what you gotta do in this thing, and they're gonna try to slay you. But you gotta remember that this is not. No new thing is under the sun. There's no new thing under the sun. So our Yahawashi first and foremost went through it, and our righteous forefathers went through it, and our foremothers went through it. But I yield.
That was a mighty point. Definitely. Khan, that was a beautiful point. I want to just let me back and say, like, definitely, because the brothers, they're out on the highways and byways, they're out here shaking the hand, bidding Israel to come bidding the lost sheep of the house of Israel to come home. But us women, we're not doing that. So we can be bold by, talking to coworkers, talking to family members, if a family member asks you a question about the truth, let them know, boldly, like, why would you want to hide this truth from anyone?
Right.
Especially if it's an Israelite, if it's a sister, you better tell her. If she's asking why you got that fringes, why you got them fringes on, why what's some things at the bottom of your dress, you better tell her boldly. Oh, it's because um my beliefs in the Bible, I believe we're the Israelites, and and I of course use discernment at work now. If you don't want to get into a deep at work, just tell her, hey, give me your number. We can definitely text about this. We can definitely get on the phone and talk about this. But definitely let the sister know what's the little curls things at the bottom of your dress. It's fringes. What are fringes? Oh, it's in the Bible, Numbers 15:38. The Lord commanded us to wear fringes, the Israelites. Oh, I want to know more. She might not say she want to know more, but you gotta let them know boldly. You can't be like, oh, they just something I wear. My beliefs, yeah. Yeah. Fashion show. You can't be like that. Somebody asks.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Somebody asks, why you always got a hair up on? Oh, just yeah, I just think it goes good with my outfit. Yeah, I think it be looking good with my outfit. No, tell her why you wear hair wraps. Tell her why. Somebody asks why you don't be cussing like that. Oh, cause I just tell her why. Cause you think that you should open your mouth with the law of kindness or wisdom only. If she asks you why you don't eat seafood or pork, oh, just cause it don't look good. Tell her why. Be bold. Those are ways we can be bold as women. Tell her why. Tell her because it's a bottom feeder. And the Lord said not to eat it. Tell her that pork is disgusting, abomination. The Lord said not to eat. Well, where I said that at? Let me show you. We can chat it. We can talk about it. We can rap all night about it. I'm glad to show you.
Right.
Tell her why. Don't be afraid to talk about Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is true to your sisters.
For sure. That's madness. You
Kind of
can't
talking
have that.
about, oh, well, it just don't look good to me. Girl, stop playing. Of course it don't look
Please.
good. Tell her why. Tell her why it
Right.
don't look good. Talking about
Okay. Kind of asking you about the fringes. They were like, "Oh, I bought it like this."
no!
No, you didn't. You didn't. You didn't. I sold these on. Yup.
That's madness. That
I
is
sold.
utter madness.
That is madness,
I ain't never seen that in the store.
man.
Kind of righteous
Yeah.
about us playing. Kind of
Yeah.
like, I don't really want to talk about now. Honestly, when I first started at my job, because I've been in my job a year, all praise the Most High, who was the Lord, I made it through. Because anyways, there's this lady. She used to ask me, about like why she noticed that I never wear pants, and she had asked me why. And I was like, I didn't tell her about the truth, but that's growth because now I be ready to tell somebody about the truth. But we gotta be like, if somebody asks us why you always wearing a skirt, you gotta tell them why. Like because I believe that we're not supposed to wear those things. The Bible tells us we're not supposed to wear what pertains up to a man. And if you want to know more, I'm free to give you my number. That's how we can be bold as a lion for Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi's women. When sisters ask you questions, let them know. Even if a man asks you a question, direct him to somebody that can give him answers. Because I'm a teacher, and there was a brother asking about the truth. He was inquiring about my fringes. That's why you gotta wear the fringes. Hold on, let me
You gotta wear them.
show you.
You gotta wear them.
That's why you have to wear them. You never know who you're gonna like to. That's why you have to dress modest. That's why you have to wear your hair up on. Not only just to keep the commandments, but you to be a light. You never know who you're helping. You know, got you. People probably inquire what that is on your hair right there. What that is right there? That's a dress scarf. You got that at the. You got that at the scarf section. That's a bed sheet. They gonna want to know. They gonna want to know. You
Mm-hmm.
gotta let sisters know. You gotta tell them what it is and what it ain't. Why you don't want to work on Saturdays? Because that's a Sabbath day. What that is? Oh, it's a day of rest in the Bible. You know, the Lord told us to keep the Sabbath day as a Sabbath day. You know, if you go to your calendar on your phone, kid you not, I had this conversation with a sister at work this week. You go to your calendar on your phone, Sunday is the first day. So how can that be the seventh day? How can that be the Sabbath day? You go to Saturday. Whatever you believe. If you don't believe the Saturday, Sabbath day, you know, but this is what I believe, so this is what I'm talking about. But
Right.
you know, let sisters know why did you take off work yesterday? Oh, because I had the new moon. What that is? It's a celebration to celebrate the new month every month. You know, I'll praise the most. Oh, okay. Let people know. Let your sister know. If she asks, you gotta let her know. I'm telling you,
Uh,
they're gonna ask a lot of questions. You gotta let them
mm-hmm.
know.
She
You
pulling
can't
out
be
all the real
scared.
life scenarios. I can just see all this playing out too.
Yeah,
This is laughing.
because these are real life scenarios. I'm trying to make scenarios
Mm-hmm.
that sis can relate to. I'm not trying to be off the wall. She gonna be like, "What's she talking about? I ain't never had that happen." You know, you gotta you gotta
Right.
be realistic in this thing. Why every time I see you, you checking ingredients on them cookies, girl? Because I make sure ain't no crazy stuff in here. You know,
Okay. I
what
gotta make sure I'm
kind?
not eating nothing that's gonna make me go off.
Right? What you mean by go off? You know, breaking the
Go
commandments
against
of
the Lord.
God. Where did I say that at? I'm gonna show you. You
Right.
know, you just got to be bold for the Lord. You can't be timid when sisters ask you, why you always, why you always got that on? Well, you gotta be, you gotta come on with it.
Right.
You can save her soul.
Exactly.
Can't be scared now. You can't be scared.
That's
Okay,
not
I
the
yield.
Lord.
I
Second
yield.
Timothy 1:7. The Lord did not give us a spirit
Thank
of
you.
fear, but a love, power, and a sound mind. You gotta remember that. You gotta remember that. We gotta remember that fear is not of the most high. We can't be fearing to say something, especially not to our sisters. Come on now. You know, we gotta really strive to wanna, plant those seeds to the power spirit Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, hoping that he waters them. Because you gotta think about it like if I was still in the world, knowing what I know now, and if I was still in the world, I would want somebody to come up to me and be like, "Hey, sister, you know, you can't be eating that. Why? Because this and that, da 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 da, or whatever, whatever law it is." But you gotta remember, like, the Most High has given us a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. So you got that sound mind, like, okay, I'm gonna keep the Sabbath day. I'm gonna keep the new moon. I'm gonna keep what's commanded of me by the Most High God, and I'm not gonna have no spirit of fear about it. I'm not gonna fear what man's gonna do to me, what man gonna say about me, whatever. No, because that's not the spirit that the Most High has given us. And if we're moving in that spirit, then we're moving against the Most High God. But I wanted to get
Con, con,
you
that's
was
my.
you wasn't going to say something.
Mm-mm.
Okay,
All praise to the Most High.
come on, praise the Most High. I'm gonna get Ephesians chapter 6. Then I'm gonna start at
You gotta be bold, man. Gotta be bold.
19 and I'm gonna go to 20. And it reads, "And for me, that utterance may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel." Because we know that this truth, this is a mystery to a lot of our sisters. It's a mystery to a lot of our sisters in the world. They don't know the Lord. You know, shoot, some folks don't even know the Ten Commandments, the basic stuff. So we gotta be willing to speak boldly, especially when they ask questions. Especially when they ask questions and they're inquiring about it. You don't want to scatter the sheep. They asking you about, some biblical stuff. And you like, oh well, yeah. You keeping it short. You're not really giving no dropping no gems, nothing. No, it says that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel. Verse 20, for which I am an ambassador in bonds. We gotta be an ambassador for this truth. We saying that we prisoners of the Lord. We subject, our mind, body, spirit to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi with everything we got. Hey, we gotta do what's according to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Speaking boldly of the Lord, speaking boldly of these commandments, these laws, statutes, all that. We gotta ride for the Lord. That therein I may speak boldly as I ought to speak. We ought to speak boldly. So that's pretty much all I had on that. If you wanted to go, then I got one more precept after that, and then I'm
Yeah, I
done.
got a precept. This First Thessalonians 2:6. Nor of men sought we glory. I'm gonna start at 3. For our exhortation was not of deceit, nor of uncleanness, nor in guile, but as we were allowed of Yahawah to be put in trust with the gospel, even so we speak, not as pleasing men, but Yahawah, which trieth our hearts. For neither at any time use we flattering words, as ye know, nor a cloak of covetousness, Yahawah is witness. Nor of men sought we glory, neither of you, nor yet of others, when we might have been burdensome as the apostles of Yahweh Shai. So Paul and him, he basically saying when we was on the scene, our exhortation, it wasn't deceit, it was sincere. We wasn't trying to please men, we wasn't using flattering words, we wasn't saying what pleased men. We didn't tell y'all what y'all wanted to hear. We told y'all what Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi said, regardless if you wanted to hear it or not. We weren't trying to seek glory of you. We trying to please Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. And that's how we gotta be. When sisters ask you questions, you can't be trying to tell them what they want to hear. Why you don't eat pork? Just never really liked it. No, be bold. Talk that talk through the spirit of Yahweh Shemal Shah. Please your how with your words. How you just gonna tell? I just never really liked it. You think the Lord is pleased with their response? You just didn't ever really like it. You could ultimately try to bring this into the truth, Lord willing. So don't dim your light, and that's why we have to be a light. Don't dim your light. Don't trim your ways to seek love. You don't want to talk about the truth because you're scared of what they might say. You embarrassed. You think they're gonna laugh at you. So what? They laughed at Yahweh Shai. And if you want to get the kingdom, you got to be willing to be laughed at. Who cares if she say you're a weirdo? Okay, yeah, I might be. Call it how about Shema Shai. Who cares? We're not here to be like the world. That's the whole point. We clash. Light and darkness don't mix. We're not meant to be like people in the world. So yes, you're gonna be different. You might get talked about. You might get laughed at. People might gossip about you. Who care? Hey, for how about Shema Shah? I do it all over again. If we really want this kingdom, that's the type of mindset you got to be in. You can't be trying to do what sound good to men and do what looks good to them. Because if you're trying to please them, you cannot please your how about Shema Shai. If you want to serve men, maybe this thing isn't for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna get Galatians 1:10. And it reads, for do I not persuade men or Yahweh? Or do I seek to please men? For if I yet please men, I should not be the servant of Yahweh Shai. That's plain. If you're trying to please men, you cannot be a servant of Yahweh Shai. You cannot call yourself a servant of Yahweh Shai if you're trying to please men. You'd rather work on the Sabbath day to please your boss. You'd rather wear pants at your job to please your boss. I don't care. You cannot work there. I mean, if that's because like I said, everybody believes different things, but I don't believe that we should be wearing those things. You got to do something else. You got to do something else. If your job requires you to go off in any way, you have to do something else, or find a way to get around it that you're not breaking the commandments. Ask the Most High for wisdom so you can get around it, so you're not breaking His commandments. But we just cannot be trying to please men over the Most High. You have to choose life. You have to choose your Yahawah Shema Shai, and He will reward you. He's definitely going to reward you. And we're not going to get into deep into the rewarding part because that's not the topic of the lesson. But Psalms 37:25, David said, I've been young and I'm old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken nor his seed begging bread. And David was like, look, I've been young and I've also had gray hair. And one thing I've never seen those that's keeping the commandments be forsaken. Never. I've never seen in my life. So if you turning down these job opportunities, you turning down these things of the world, people inviting you out on a Sabbath day, if you turning these things down, hey, the Lord is going to reward you. It might not be when you wanted to, but he's not gonna forget you. Yahweh is not unrighteous to forget your labor of love. He's not gonna forget every time you told them, no, I can't do this, it's my Sabbath. He's not gonna forget every time you was like, nah, I can't do that. The Lord wouldn't be pleased with that. He's not gonna forget every time you said no and chose him. Every time you chose Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, he's not going to forget that. Let me get that. Hebrews 6 and 10, though. Hebrews 6 and 10. For Yahweh is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which you have showed toward his name, and that you have ministered to the saints and do minister. Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is not unrighteous to forget your work and your labor. Every time you said no, every time you was like, nah, you can't do it. Every time you turned away from that lust of the flesh, you turned away from that temptation, you flee from, and of course, adjustment fall. But the goal is to strive to be as blameless as possible, to build your spirit up, to be strong in the spirit to the point where you be like, no, I cannot do that. Every time you said no, when your flesh is like pulling on you saying, say yes, say yes, say yes. The Most High's not going to forget that. He's going to reward you. So come on. Oh. I just remembered. Wait, did you have something you want to say? Go ahead. You got it.
Oh, no. You good. You going to pull another one?
I mean, it was just Acts 4 and 29. And now, Lord, behold their threatenings, and grant unto thy servants that with all boldness they may speak thy word, by stretching forth thine hand to heal, and that signs and wonders may be done by the name of the Holy Child Yahawashi. And when they had prayed, the place was shaken where they were assembled together, and they were all filled with the Holy Ghost, and they spake the word of Yahweh with boldness. But they literally threw up a prayer for boldness.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're struggling with being bold, if you're struggling with telling sisters about the truth, if you're struggling with, what man may think, pray about it. I'm telling you, prayer is the answer to everything. Pray about it. Pray, ask for it. You ask, you have not because you ask not. James said that. Yahushua said, Matthew 7, whatsoever you knock and you shall find. Ask, you shall receive. You got to knock, it shall be opened unto you. Let me just get that. So if you're struggling, ask for it. Matthew 7 and 7, ask and it shall be given you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asketh, receiveth, and he that seeketh, findeth, and to him that knocketh, it shall be opened. So if you want more faith, ask for it. If you want to be bold for the Lord and not be scared to tell sisters about the truth, not care about what people are going to think, ask for it. All you got to do is ask. Matthew 21 and 22 saying, whatsoever things you shall ask, believing you're going to receive it. You can't be faint-hearted in this thing. Oh, well, I don't know if the Lord going to hear me. I don't know if he's going to answer me. Yahushua said, in all things, whatsoever you ask in prayer, believing ye shall receive. Whatever you ask in prayer, believing, if you truly believe the Lord is going to give you an increase of spirit of boldness, it's going to be done unto you. You got to have faith. You have to have faith. You have to pray on these things and have faith. So if you lack it in any area, just ask the Most High for it, and Most High willing He see fit to grant that unto thee and reward you according to your obedience and your righteousness and your faith. Because I just wanted to touch on that. We just gotta pray about it. Because some of us, we might care what people think. I don't know. I don't want them to laugh at me because of my dress. I don't want them to. Who cares? Pray about it. Pray that you don't care. Pray that you care less. Pray that you don't give. Pray that you don't give two freaks.
Right.
Pray that you do not care. Pray that you be bold. That you want to tell people about the truth. You want to tell sisters about the truth. Pray that you be excited to tell sisters about the truth. Pray on these things.
I wanted to get 2 precepts.
Sisters.
The first one, gosh, the first one, Philippians 1 and 20. You can get that from me real quick. Just going to basically just laying back off of what the sister's been saying the whole time. And it reads, according to my earnest expectation and my hope that in nothing I shall be ashamed. So we got to hope that in nothing we'll be ashamed. We can't be ashamed of this truth because it's beautiful. It's beautiful. When we follow law, statutes, commandments, not only, is that pleasing to us, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, we get a reward in the end. We're not going to get into that reward, but all aspects of this truth is beautiful. It's beautiful not being wicked. So these are things that we shouldn't be ashamed of. But that with all boldness, as always, so now also Christ shall be magnified in my body, whether it be by life or by death. So whether they try to kill you, shoot you, beat you up, put you on the FBI most wanted list, whatever, you're gonna be like, hey, do what y'all gotta do. Do what you gotta do. Because I'm not gonna be ashamed of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. I'm not gonna be ashamed of this truth. I'm not gonna be ashamed of what's right. No. And I'm gonna magnify Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi in my body. Whether I live or whether I die. That's the kind of spirit we gotta move in. And I'm gonna get what's the like here? The Book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. Going into just just a little bit of, if we continue to move in the spirit of boldness in the last days, especially, because if we can't move in boldness right now, then we're not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it in the last days when all hell break loose. When it really get real. When ish hits the fan. So we gotta let this look forward to. Starting at verse 1. It reads, Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. And they, repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, This was he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach. So best believe all the people, you know, picking on you, afflicting you, messing up your living situation, your money situation, whatever the case is, whatever it is, having you in derision, having you in reproach, affliction, whatever. If you stand in great boldness in that day, the Most High is going to lift you up, Lord willing. And they're going to see, dang, I can't believe I persecuted this sister who was following the Most High God, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. This is what we got to look forward to. To stand in great boldness now and later until the end. It's Sirach 4 and 21. We got to strive for this truth unto death. Unto death. And just because, our our people in the world, they don't make account of our labors. Oh, they scoffing. Why are you doing that? This, whatever. The heathen, why are you doing this, that, whatever. Persecuting you, whatever. Lying on you. Hey, that's fine. But we know that Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi has kept account of these labors. The angels are always watching. We gotta keep that in mind. If you got a picture, we don't know what he looked like, but you got a picture, Yahawashi, the white hair, white woolly hair, red eyes, standing next to you all throughout your day, just so you don't go off, just so you don't, be ashamed of the gospel. Hey, do what you gotta do. But we need to have it in our minds to, okay, I know that the angels are recording everything that I do and reporting it back to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. So I don't need to be acting like I'm ashamed of this truth, like it's a secret. I'm living a double life. No, there's no double lives in this thing. It shouldn't be. But can't I you?
Mighty point, sister, bringing it out. You I was gonna get this precept in Sirach. I thought it was Sirach 4 and 21, but I just looked at Sirach 4 and 22. But you made me think of it through the spirit. Accept no
Okay.
person against thy soul, and let not the reverence of any man cause thee to fall. So you also can't be letting what the love you got for somebody cause you to fall. Your mama asked you to watch your baby brother on a Shabbat, and she said that she'll give you $250 if you cook them a sandwich or something. You take them to the playground, and you take them to the movies or whatever. You can't be like, well, it is my mom. I have to honor my parents. I can't disrespect her in her house. No, because I know some sisters still live with their parents. No. You can't be like, well, that's mommy. Okay, you gotta tell mommy no. Mommy
Sorry.
gotta wait to be
Okay.
like, look, I'll do it Sunday. Bring me my 250 too.
And don't be afraid. She talking about, okay, well,
You can't get out of my house. Okay.
You gotta get out my house. Okay, well I guess I gotta pack my stuff. And the most I gonna
Period.
have to deal with that, you know? I don't have to deal with mama. I'm sorry.
Let
But
the most
hey,
high be the judge.
the most high is gonna take care of you. You gotta have,
Right.
and if you fearful, your faith's not there. And that's something you gotta pray and fast on.
Hey, you
But Con,
gotta
it was 4:28. 4:28. Strive for
strive
the
to be
truth of
forever.
it.
Okay, con. But
Con.
con, you gotta be like, look, hey, how about Shema Shah gonna take care of me? Do what you gotta do.
Yep.
That's why we put out that precept in Daniel, because he was like, look, throw me into the fire. Cause
Yep.
my God gonna deliver me. Do what
That's
you
right.
want to do. Okay, you don't want me to. Okay, you want to kick me out? Okay, I'm packing my bag right now. I'm packing
Mhm.
my bag right. You ain't got to say it no more. That's what my we gotta be in. But
Mhm.
okay, I'm get out gladly. Don't say
Okay.
that. You know,
Yeah, don't say that again.
don't say all that. You ain't gonna fight on break. What you just say? Use discernment, but you
Right.
can't let how much love and respect you got for somebody cause you to go off in this truth. Oh, well, that's my best friend. Okay, BFF. Can't she gonna have to wait?
Right.
Hey, how about Shema Sham come first? And that's what have no other gods, because you put anyone before the Lord. That's a god. That's an idol. Now you're going off and you're in sin. Well, she's my mom. Okay, so you're gonna choose mama over the commandments? You're gonna choose money idol. You're going the love of money. That's why the love of money is the root of all evil. You rather get $2,000 on the Sabbath day than keep the commandments on the Lord. Cause ultimately, best you would eat that plus some just by you keeping His commandments.
Exactly.
You gonna go off just you gonna go off just to please the flesh, just to lose your life in the end game. Because it says, "He that saveth his life, he that loses his life shall save it. He that saveth his life shall lose it." So you got to be bold for the Lord. You can't be accepting man over Yahawah Shema Shah.
Mm. You gotta get Jeremiah 2:33. Because why are you trimming your ways to seek love? Why are you trimming your ways to seek love? I'm gonna get it.
But and you gotta have Salakia. Let's say it. That's madness. But you gotta keep the Most High first. Of course, you gotta honor your father and your mother. But when it kind of keeping these commandments, you gotta be like big law. I'm not doing it. I'm not breaking the Most High commandments to please you. Even
Right.
for sisters that are married, if you're under a man and he tell you something wicked, he be like, "We finna go do this." No, I'm not. You got to keep the commandment. You have to work out your own salvation.
Right.
Yeah, how forbid any of that happen, like any wicked spirit hop on any of our husbands, how forbid. But if you're under a man, for my married sisters, and he be like, "We finna go do this," and it's breaking the Lord's commandments, yes, you're under him, but you serve Yahawah Shema Shah before you serve him. You
That's
serving him is you serving the Lord. So if he trying to get you to go off, you got to be like, You can be like, "Well, no, he is my husband, so I got to know." You don't got to do anything when it comes to these commandments. You gonna choose Yahawah Shema Shah over man. That's what you got to do if you want this kingdom. You can't be like,
fine.
"Well, that's my mom, and she said I have to watch this on the Sabbath day." No, it's your Sabbath day. She tell you got to deep clean the carpet. No, it's your Sabbath day. You gotta keep these commandments over man. You can't let the love. Well, I love my mom so well. You have to love Yahawah Shema Shah more. That's why Yahawah Shah said, "He that loveth his father and mother more than me." Let's get that.
That's right.
I think it's Matthew's 10. I'm not sure. Yeah, Con. Matthew's 10 and 37. He that loveth father more than me is not worthy of me. He that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Now, that's not saying not to love your family. That's just saying if you choose to serve them before you serve me, then you're not worthy of me, because that means you love them more than me. If you choose to break the Sabbath because mommy asked you to do something, or if you choose to break my commandments because your husband said y'all should do something, then and you still do it and you choose them over me, then you don't love me. You gotta choose your Yahawah Shema Shah always. That's why Moses said, "Choose thee life that thou mayest live." Second Ezra 7:57 through 59. Choose thee life. What kind of
Mm-hmm.
you?
Fine. I wanted to get Jeremiah 2:33. And did you ever pull Psalms 118:6?
Nope, I did not.
Okay. You can get Jeremiah first.
Okay.
2:33. Man, just because I quoted it earlier. But yeah. Why trimmest thou ways to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways. So when you trim your ways to seek love, you know, people are seeing that. You know, your mama told you, oh, watch your little brother, buy him this pizza, this pork pizza for him to eat while I'm gone. And you be like, oh, well, you know, that's what he eat. That's the only thing he'll eat. No. And as soon as you do that one time, and then you try to switch up, they be like, oh, no, well, you're not really in this truth for real. You say you serve the Lord, but you just order me a pork pizza, or you ordered your brother a pork pizza, whatever,
You say out
whatever
here
it is.
pork pizza.
You just taught the wicked ones thy ways. You just ultimately, scared the sheep. If they was even a little bit interested, they was like, oh, okay, well,
We're
or they
definitely
was
interested in
thinking,
them more.
oh, well, I could be in the truth. I could serve the Lord and still do what I want. Just, you know, on certain days when it fits. No, why trimmest thy way to seek love? They love you or they don't. It is what it is. Okay, you
Mm.
gonna say something?
Kind of, I was just gonna say that's why it's very important. Now I lost my train of thought. But we got to be bold for Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. We have to be bold for Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Have to. It's only right.
All right. If you want to get Psalms 118 and 6.
Oh, I was gonna say that's why it's important that we don't be a stumbling block. We was just talking about this on the modesty call. Now, of course, you got to work out your own salvation with trembling and fear. Of course, you have to.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say, for instance, you just never know. You never know who you're helping. You never know who's watching you. So let's say, for instance, your dad or your parents, they be like, "Look, I need you to go to the store and get this for me on the Shabbat." And of course, Yahweh Shah said it's good to do, it's lawful to do good on the Shabbat. So if we talking about medicine, they finna die, it's like a life or death situation. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something that can wait. It can literally wait. I need you to go run up here and buy this pizza for me at the Pizza Hut or something like that. And you go do it, they gonna be like, oh, like the sister said, they gonna be like, oh, well, I can do that. I can, wear my fringes and break the Sabbath and the Lord be okay with it. And now you like you said, you scattering the sheep. You got people thinking they can break the commandments. You making the Lord look bad. You making His truth look bad. Don't bring shame unto the ministry. Now you got sisters thinking they can go buy on the Shabbat because they see you doing it. And like I said, we have to work out on salvation, triple and fear. But some people are weaker in the faith, especially for sisters that are just coming in. So that's why it's important that we be that light, that we be that righteous example. They're not used to seeing people chill on Saturdays. They're not used to seeing you, sister, women dressing modestly. They're not used to women not cussing in their speech. They're used to women saying whatever they want to say, being loud, obnoxious. Seeing a quiet, loving woman like you, they're not used to that. So that's why it's very important to be the light because you never know who you're helping. And you don't want to give sisters the impression that something's okay because they see you doing it. And yes, we have to work on salvation. I understand. Yes, yes, yes. But it's just a thought. You don't want to be a stumbling block into somebody else. You never know who's looking up to you. You never know who's really struggling in the faith. And they might need you to be that strong, righteous example.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, definitely work on salvation. But I just wanted to touch on that. It's very important. That's why it's very important to be that light because you don't want to be a stumbling block into somebody else. Now you're just scattering the sheep. You got sisters thinking they can wear tight booty clothes because you liking pictures of it. Oh, well, that sister says she fear God, but she liking these pictures. So that's okay. Okay, bet. Nah, no, because I was confused at first. I didn't know. Oh, this sister, she says she served God, but she on Instagram with a hookah pen. Dang, I can do that. Bet. Say no more.
Madness.
Like you just never know. And yes, work out your own salvation, but like people be thinking like that because they're watching you, they're looking up to you, and just one wrong thing, and now they think, oh well, I can do that. And for sisters that think that, you need to work out your own salvation, and you need to get in that Bible and see that you cannot do that. But that's how deep it run. Like people literally will look at you do something, and then why do you think all our women want to dress modest? That's all they see. They see Cardi B, Sierra dressed in dang half naked with a see-through dress. That's all they see. So they do it because they think it's acceptable. They see all the money they got. They see all the men they got. Oh well, if I can get men like that, I can get money like that. I can do it too. So it's just like people are watching. You want to be mindful. I'm telling y'all. Go watch that modest live you have. And we went into discretion. Discretion means careful. You got to be a discreet woman. Careful. We're just gonna get into the definition again real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Discretion means the quality of behaving or speaking in such a way as to avoid causing offense or revealing private information. It means we have similarities: circumspection, care, carefulness, caution, care, pecan. So if you're a discreet woman, you're going to be very careful on how you move. You're going to care for your sisters to not be a stumbling block unto them. You're going to move with caution. No, I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't break the Shabbat. You know, you have to fear Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. You have to love the Most High more than you love man, more than you love this flesh, more than you love the cares of this world. What kind of you?
I don't know if I read this one.
I've only been on here.
Um,
I'm saying, actually, though, facts.
yeah.
The Lord is definitely testing us. He's trying to see how bold you're gonna be, how strong you're gonna be for Him. Is you gonna fold, or you gonna be like, nah, I can't do it. Call it how about Shemasha? Like the Lord is testing you to see how you move it. He gotta prove you. He gotta see if you're really worthy of this kingdom, and that's by sending you through the fire. Mighty point.
Psalms 118 and 6. The Lord is on my side, I will not fear. What can man do unto me? And that's plain. Can't be fearful of what, carnal man, fleshly man can do to you. We got to fear the Most High who can take away our soul, rather than man that can just kill our flesh or put us in a bad predicament. Just temporary. And that's in the book of Matthew, I think 10:28 maybe. Something like that.
I was just gonna say Matthew 10:28. Mighty sister.
Yeah. I'll pray some more about man. But Con, you just want to pull something? It look like you just want to pull something.
You got something?
2 Samuel 22.
Hey. Oh, let me get Hebrews 13:6 real quick, because it's a precept for literally what you just brought out.
Okay.
I didn't even know this precept existed. For so that we may boldly say, "The Lord is my helper, and I will not fear what man should do unto me." That's plain. That's plain.
Right.
That's plain. Before you get that, did you want to read the account of Acts 5? Or did you want to get 2 Samuel right now? It's up to you.
We get 2 Samuel, then we get Acts
Okay.
chapter 5.
You got it.
Alrighty.
All right. The floor is yours.
Starting in verse 21, it reads, "The Lord rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands hath he recompensed me. For I have kept the ways of the Lord, and have not wickedly departed from my God. For all his judgments were before me, and as for his statutes, I did not depart from them. I was also upright before him, and have kept myself from mine iniquity." So we gotta be on our P's and Q's in this thing, man. We gotta make sure that our hands are as clean as possible. Our garments, our spiritual garments, need to be as clean as possible. No blots, no stains on them, because the Lord will recompense us according to our righteousness. He's gonna give us what we deserve. So if our actions deserve death, that's what we gonna get. If our actions deserve life, that's what we gonna get. Most High willing. But we gotta be faithful in this thing. We gotta be faithful and bold for this truth. And we can go ahead and get the book of Acts chapter 5.
And I wanted to give verse 25. Therefore, the Lord hath recompensed me according to my righteousness, according to my cleanness in his eyesight. So we got to strive to be as blameless as possible and clean in the eyes of the Lord. He's going to reward us. Recompense just means to repay.
Right.
So the Most High is going to reward us according to our actions. And let me get because the rest of the precepts we have is just accounts going into our righteous forefathers, and then we're gonna close out. We're just gonna get like three more accounts. I want to get Second Maccabees first.
Come.
First, I'm gonna get verse 11 through 12. Second Maccabees chapter. That's not what I want. Maybe it's chapter 2. Maybe it's First Maccabees chapter 1. It's First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 11. In those days there went out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Um, Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen. So all Israel ain't Israel, as Paul said. You know, you got some Israelites that they not going to be down for Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. They're gonna wanna in that day, they gonna wanna, be they gonna tuck their fringes in that day. In that day, they'd rather get food and money from Esau than to be bold as a lion, to be willing to die for this truth, than willing to live in the wilderness. They'd rather break the Sabbath day than to keep it whole and set apart for some extra money. They'd rather go to work on the new moon. They'd rather wear pants at work than wear their skirt and their modest apparel. You put your pants on for the 8-hour shift and you go home and you wear your modest apparel with your fringes. You don't wear your fringes at work, but then you want to wear them, at the mall. You cannot pick and choose. You got to keep these commandments all around. But there's nothing new under the sun. These are things that happened before, and they are going to happen again. There's nothing new under the sun, as the scriptures say. That's why it's very important that we read these accounts so we can get them engraved in our mind, so we can remember what our righteous forefathers, when our forefathers did, and we can look at what they did and learn from it. They were bold, and then you got some people that were wicked, and they wanted to start a heathen rather than Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. We don't want to move in that spirit. So, sisters, you cannot be making a covenant with Esau. You cannot choose Esau over the Most High. You got to be like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not, whatever it is, I'm not doing it. Don't even ask me to lift my finger up on the Shabbat because I ain't doing it. And then I wanted to get, I'm not going to read the whole account of the Second Maccabees. I just want to get one precept out of this chapter and then out of the next chapter. What was it? Second Maccabees. No, I don't want to get this. I want y'all to read Second Maccabees chapter 6. I'm not gonna get that precept. That's not what I really wanted to do. I wanted to get this precept. No, let me get this first so I can. And then you have people secretly keeping the Shabbat day because they had sent out a decree that you couldn't keep the Sabbath no more. And you have some Israelites, they were still keeping it, but unknowingly. They were still keeping the Shabbat regardless. This is First Maccabees 4:35. Now when Lysias saw his army put to flight and the manliness of Judah's soldiers, and how they were ready either to live or die valiantly, he went into Antiochia and gathered together a company of strangers, and having made his army greater than it was, he purposed to come again into Judea. So these brothers, they were ready to die for Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. And we have to talk about it as women. We have to be really, really ready to die for Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Some of us are going to have to be put to death for the Lord. And this is what Yahawah went through. He died for us. How much more not we die for him? So these are things that we have to meditate on and really come into reality to, sisters. Like, these are the times we're coming in. It's literally, we got to be willing to die for Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. And then here's the second Maccabees precept I wanted. I really recommend sisters to read the entire book of Maccabees and Acts. Like, no joke. Mighty words. But specifically Acts chapter 5, 7, 8, and 9. And then go read Second Maccabees 6 and 7. Real mighty chapters. But this is Second Maccabees 7 and 1. It came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to take swine's flesh, and were tormented with scourging whips. But one of them that spake first said thus, what wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers. You got to kind of meditate on that. You got to meditate on that. He said, man, I would rather die than transgress Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi commandments. You're going to have to kill me. And when I first read Second Maccabees, I thought that it was one precept that basically said, I thought that I didn't know that the pork went into one of their mouths. He spit it out. Like they had his mouth like open like this. They probably had some around his mouth, forcing his mouth open. He spit it out. He didn't chew it. He didn't be like, let me hold on, hurry up and chew it. He spit that thing out. I gotta find it. It's only right. But I wanted to get this point just to show like we have to be willing to die for Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. They were ready to die, then and that's just the mindset you got to be in, even in now's time. Because ultimately, when you sin, that's death. You're choosing death every time you sin. The wages of sin is death, Romans 6:23. So when you choose to break the Shabbat, you're choosing death. You got to be willing to, you choosing death. We want to get everlasting life. The goal is to get everlasting life, not get closer to death. We want to get closer to the kingdom of heaven. But you can get, what was we? Oh, we was getting Acts 5. I have to find that precept.
Did you ever get Revelations 2:10?
No, I was gonna keep that for the end.
Okay, come. Alrighty.
Oh, the second Maccabees 6. See that? I said I didn't want to get it. This second Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 18. Y'all, that account is so mean. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I really do like highly encourage sisters. Bitcoin, how shall I die? That's right. That's right. You know the little fighting bell. But I really do encourage sisters to go read this. Like I don't want to read the whole thing. It's just so mighty. Please go read Second Maccabees 6 and 7. Please. Okay, this is Second Maccabees 6 and 18. Let's get the definition of constrain so we can understand what it means, because I thought like I didn't know the pork went into his mouth. Constrain means compel or force someone to follow a particular course of action. Require, restrict, restrain. So let's get it. Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man and a well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh. But he choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination, spit it forth and came of his own accord to the torment. I'm sorry, I gotta keep going. And as it behooved them to come that are resolute to stand out against such things as are not lawful for love of life to be tasted. But they that had the charge of their wicked feast for the old acquaintance that they had with the man, taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision, such as was lawful for him to use, and make as if he did eat of the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king, that in doing so he might be delivered from death, and for the old friendship with them find favor. But he began to consider discreetly, and as became his age, and the excellency of his ancient years, and the honor of his great head, whereunto he was come, and his most honest education from a child, or rather the holy law made and given by Yahawah. Therefore he answered accordingly, and willed them straightways to send him to the grave. For it becometh not our age. Let me just skip down to verse 25. And so they through mine hypocrisy and desire to live a little time and a moment longer should be deceived by me, and I get a stain to mine old age and make it abominable. For though for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men, yet shall I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead. Wherefore now, manfully changing his life, I will show myself such an one as mine age requireth, and leave a notable example to such as be young, to die willingly and courageously for the honorable and holy laws. And when he said these words, immediately he went to the torment. That is mighty. I gotta this whole chapter is mighty, but I said I wasn't gonna read it, but the spirit. But I'm not gonna read the whole chapter, but I encourage y'all to go read it. So basically, they put the pork in his mouth and he spit it out. He spit it out. He didn't chew it. He spit it out. He wanted to die for the Lord. Because if you die for the Lord, you already know what's up next. Kingdom! Kingdom!
That's
He
right.
was like, nah, I'm gonna get this kingdom. But one of the brothers, they was like, how about, just get some beef or some chicken and just eat that and make it seem like it's pork. He was like, no, I'm not doing that. Cause then I'm gonna be a stumbling block unto my brothers and sisters. Then they gonna think I ate pork. And now I'm getting in the way of their salvation.
Right.
I done made a stain to my name and a stain to the Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi name and a stain to me. I done made this truth look bad. I done died like a punk. They don't think I ate pork. No, I'm not doing. I'm not gonna fake and eat no other meat and make it seem like it's pork,
Mm.
so that I can leave a stain and so that I can mess up some. I can be a stumbling block into somebody else. See that's why it's so important to be a light. That right there. Not only was he not wanting to do that to make a stain, because he didn't want to cause somebody else to stumble. Because Israel would have saw that and be like, dang, he just ate pork instead of dying for the Lord. No, but instead he left an example. He died for the Lord and left a beautiful example.
And
So
that's
we
true
have to leave
love.
an example unto our sisters. When you choose not to, because the job I'm at right now, I'm not going to be here much longer, Lord willing. But they're going to remember the example I set through the Spirit. They're going to remember every time I wasn't at work for my feast days. Every time I chose to shut my mouth instead of gossiping with them. They're going to remember. Mackenzie, she didn't get down with us. She wasn't with all that gossiping. Remember, she always had that skirt on. You want to leave a notable example for your sisters. Yawanah, she ain't play around at FAMU, bro. She always had that Bible on her hand. She always had them friends on her dress. You wanna be that notable example for other sisters. You don't want to make a stain unto your name until you Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi ministry. Because you might escape man, but you can't escape the hand of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Play around if you want to. But can I yield? I think that chapter is so beautiful. Like, please go read it.
Yeah.
Please.
Mighty, mighty, mighty accounts. Yeah, and that's ultimately just him following the commandments on multiple folds. You know, not going against the dietary law, and ultimately having love for his people
And love for the Most High.
and love for the Most High. Yeah, because that'll be a selfish thing. I'm gonna eat this beef. Yeah, like it's pork. I know it might be a
Listen,
stumbling block to the younger ones or to the other brothers and sisters, but hey, I saved my life. No, no, that's off.
see, that's why Yahawah said, "He that shall lose his life shall save it." If you willing to lose this fleshly life, and he was willing to lose his life, literally, he rather died than eat pork, so he gained life. But if you rather to save your life, you want to break the Sabbath, you want to wear pants, you want to break the commandments to please man, you're losing your life because you're trying to save it in this wicked world. You got to be willing to be like, man, to heck with that. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. You got to pray for these things too. You really got to pray day in and day out that you be bold as a lion, that you fear Yahawah Shemasha over man, that you endure to the end, that you be willing to die for him. You literally have to pray on these things. I'm telling y'all, if you pray on it, you will have that spirit of boldness and tell people no. You will make it known. No, it's my Sabbath day. I'm not doing that. Sorry. Wait till sundown.
Right.
And people are gonna scoff. They're gonna talk about you. They're gonna laugh at you because they did it to Yahawashi. They casted lots upon his garment. They spit on him. They beat him. He sweated blood. And so if you have family members that want to talk about you, that want to cuss you out, ignore it. Let me get Proverbs 26:4 real quick. You gotta ignore it. I want sisters to read 2 Samuel chapter 16. Long story short. Let me just get it. I'm sorry. Did you have something to get before I get this?
Mm-mm.
Okay. First, I want to get Proverbs 26:4. It says, "Answer not a fool according to his father, lest thou also be like unto him." So if you got somebody cussing you out, or you got somebody calling you all types of names for this truth, ignore. What is it going to profit for you? Anything to answer them? Pray for them. Just pray for them. And you also still got to move in love, because not all Israel, remember, not all Israel is Israel. Not all Israel is going to be down for this truth. You won't have some Israelites that act really ugly towards you, and you got to pray for them, because Yahawah said so. He said, love thy enemies. He ain't talking about the heathen, because the Lord hate the heathen.
Right.
So we hate what the Lord hate. He talking about Israel that treats you like an enemy because of curses in Deuteronomy 28. Israel that don't know you, they people. So she side-eyeing you, and she talking about you, and she cussing you out because you want to wear fringes or whatever the case may be. You got to pray for her. You got to pray that the Lord wink at her ignorance. The Lord, Yahawah, it was somebody that prayed that the Lord charged them not to their sin. I think it was in the book of Acts. You got to pray. And right before Yahawah gave up the ghost, he was like, Lord, don't charge that to they, don't charge it to them. They don't know what they're doing. You got to pray for people like, Lord, please don't charge that to her. She don't know what she's doing. She don't know she offended you, Lord. She just don't know. Pray for your people. Don't be like, man, F her. She want to talk about me. F you. I ain't doing nothing for you. You got me messed up. You can't move in that type of spirit because Yahawah didn't move like that. Yahawah set an example on how he moved. When he was talked about, when he was spit on, he ain't what's that precept? It goes into even when he was on the cross, he didn't say nothing.
Mm.
It's it's going into like even when he was on that cross, he still ain't speak no guile. It's some, I think Paul wrote it. Mm, no, on the cross, I don't know. Lord will and sisters know what I'm talking about, and they can, um, definitely. Lord will and sisters know what I'm talking about. Hold on. Let me ask my head. But did you want to get some, Yona?
I was just gonna pull the Acts 5 if you wanted me to.
Okay, Karen, yes, definitely, please. While I find this precept. It starts at verse 17. Yeah, okay.
Come. Hold on, let me go back. Cause I was trying to help you find the precept. Alright. Look at Acts chapter 5, starting at verse 17. It reads Then the high priest rose up, and all they that were with him, which is the sect of the Sadducees, and were filled with indignation, and laid their hands on the apostles, and put them in the common prison. But the angel of the Lord by night opened the prison doors, and brought them forth, and said, Go, stand and speak in the temple to the people all the words of this life. And when they heard that, they entered into the temple early in the morning and taught. But the high priest came, and they that were with him, and called the council together, and all the senate of the children of Israel, and sent to the prison to have them brought. But when the officers came and found them not in the prison, they returned and told, saying, The prison truly found we shut with all safety, and the keepers standing without before the doors. But when we had opened, we found no man within. Now when the high priest and the captain of the temple and the chief priests heard these things, they doubted of them whereunto this would grow. Then came one and told them, saying, Behold, the men whom ye put in prison are standing in the temple and teaching the people. Then went the captain with the officers and brought them without violence, for they feared the people, lest they should have been stoned. And when they had brought them, they set them before the council, and the high priest asked them, saying, Did not we straitly command you that you should not teach in this name? And behold, ye have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine, and intend to bring this man's blood upon us. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, We ought to obey Yahawah rather than men.
That's the point.
Mm-hmm.
That's the point of this whole video. That we ought to obey Yahawah rather than man. Because if you obey Yahawah, you're not going to break the Sabbath. You're not going to wear pants at work. You're not going to eat that pork. You're going to check the ingredients. You're going to do everything to the best of your ability in your P's and Q's because you want the kingdom, because you want to obey Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. That's the whole point. We ought to obey Yahweh rather than men. That's the whole point of this lesson, to obey the Most High rather than men, because your reward is going to be laid up so beautifully if you do that. Now, but Yahweh, he said, if you ashamed of me, I'm going to be ashamed of you. This is Matthew chapter 10, verse 33. Whosoever shall deny me before men, him will also deny before my Father which is in heaven. And let me get verse 32 as well. Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father which is in heaven. So if you deny the Lord and you're ashamed of him, he gonna deny you and be ashamed of you. The Lord don't owe us nothing. You think you can just deny the Lord and not keep his commandments and choose man over him, and he just supposed to give you the kingdom? Yahweh said that in red letters. He mean what he say. He's not a liar. Yahweh nor Yahweh are liars. Numbers 23:19. Everything they said, has it not came to pass? Have they not done it? So if you trying to please man over the Lord, okay, and that's what your reward gonna look like. So that's the whole point. Sisters, we have to obey the Most High rather than man. And I want to get this account in 2 Samuel, and then that we're gonna close it out there, Lord willing. But basically, at this point, Saul was, trying to kill David. No, actually, Saul was dead at this point. Saul was dead, so like it. And David, what was going on at this point? His son Absalom was trying to kill him. It was judgment because of him laying with Bathsheba. And so basically his son was out for his neck, and David, I don't know where he was going, I forgot, but he was basically traveling through, and you had some people that was from Saul's lineage or whatever, or that was down for Saul, and it was cursing David, they was stoning him. David, he didn't say nothing. He ignored him. So I'm gonna just get it. This is 2 Samuel chapter 16, verse 5. And when King David came to Behurim, behold, thence came out a man of the family of the house of Saul, whose name was Shimei, the son of Gera. He came forth and cursed still as he came. And he cast stones at David and all the servants of King David, and all the people and all the mighty men were on his right hand, on his left. And thus said Shimei when he cursed, come out, thou bloody man, thou man of Belial. So he's basically calling him a devil. He's like, come out, you devil. You ain't of the Lord, you devil. Throwing stones at him, cussing at him, calling him all types of names. The Lord have returned unto thee all the blood of the house of Saul, in whose stead thou hast reigned, and the Lord hath delivered the kingdom into the hand of Absalom thy son. And behold, thou art taken in thy mischief, because thou art a bloody man. Then said Absalom the son of Zuriah unto the king, why should this dead dog curse my lord the king? Let me go over, I pray thee, and take off his head. And the king said, what have I to do with you, ye sons of Zuriah? So let him curse, because the Lord hath said unto him, curse David. Who shall then say, wherefore hast thou done so? And David said to Abishai and to all his servants, behold, my son, which came forth out of my bowels, seeketh my life. How much more now may this Benjamite do it? Let him alone and let him curse, for the Lord hath bidden him. It may be that the Lord will look on mine affliction, that the Lord will quite me good for cursing this day. So basically, the sons of Zuriah, if y'all haven't read the book of Samuel, David, he was going through it with Saul, and these men had David back. They was ready to slay somebody about David. They was always ready to cut somebody's neck off about David. And so that's why he was like, what's up with you sons of Zuriah? Y'all always trying to beat up somebody. The Lord put that on his spirit. Hey, I'm gonna let the Lord be the judge. So we got to move in this same spirit like our righteous forefather David. And that's why, sisters, you got to read the Bible. You have to stop slacking on your reading. Stop being lazy. You have to read the Bible. You got to read these accounts of our righteous forefathers and our foremothers to see what they did. Even the mother in the second Maccabees 7, she got put through it. So women, we're not exempt from this. Where in the Bible do it say women are not going to be put to death or put through the fire? We have to be willing to die for the Lord. And David, he understood. He understood that the Most High put that in his spirits. It was like, I'm gonna ignore that man. So when your family members cussing you out, or somebody's trying to start something with you, you got to answer full, not according to this Father. You got to ignore him. Because he said, hey, the Lord put that on my spirit. And if my own son seek my life and trying to kill me, if my own son trying to kill me, of course he's going to try to do it too. So just let him do what he do. The Lord done put it on his spirit. And he was like, look, the Lord might look on my affliction and repay me good this day. He might see what I'm going through and see how I'm being obedient and I'm not giving it and I'm ignoring him. And he might repay me for that. So just by you not answering the full according to his folly, just by you rising above when Israel go below, hey, that should be a slogan too. Rise above when Israel go below. Just just for you doing the right thing and not cussing them back out, not slapping them in the face, something like that. Hey, the Lord can repay you just because of your obedience and your righteousness. You can't go around, Israel, you probably got a family member talking crazy. You just go around slapping them, man. Shut up. You can't do that. You cannot do that. You cannot be cussing sisters out. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
How long you been gone?
A minute. It was just saying that.
Why you didn't call my phone?
I didn't want to miss the mighty point you was bringing out.
Dang, I sure was like, she real quiet over there.
It's okay.
That's the spirit. But Con, we don't that was my train of thought. But Con, we just gotta be bold for the Lord, You never know how the Lord, you can't go around slapping your family, sister in your family or somebody in your family come cussing you out and talking trash about you. You can't, man, get out of my face. You can't do that. You cannot do that. Just let the Lord deal with it. Ignore him, pray for him. That's it. Ignore him, pray for him. That's the whole point I want to get out this account. He ignored him. He was like, the Lord put in his spirit. I'm gonna let him do what he do. I'm gonna just ignore him. I'm gonna keep it pushing. I ain't gonna say nothing. And the Lord, he gonna reward me, Lord willing. He might. So that's the type of mindset you gotta be in. And then I wanted to get this last precept. Because David wasn't the only one that ignored Yahushua was too. 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse number. Make sure that's the right verse. 2 Peter chapter. No, 1 Peter. 1 Peter. 1 Peter. Not 1 Peter. 1 Peter. 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse number 21. 21. For even hereunto were you called, because Yahawah also suffered for us, leaving us example that you should follow his steps. So Yahawah has left us this beautiful example to follow his steps. Who did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth. Who, when he was reviled not again. When he suffered, he threatened not, but committed himself to him that judgeth righteously. Who his own self bare our sins in his own body on the tree, that we being dead to sin should live unto righteousness, by whom stripes you were healed. So even when he was on the tree, on the cross, even when he was getting put to death, getting cursed at, getting beat at, getting spit at, he didn't say nothing crazy. He didn't say, I'm gonna F you up, just wait. He didn't do none of that. He endured. He kept his peace. How much more us? There was no guile found in his mouth. What does guile mean? Let's get the definition. Sly or cunning intelligence. Slyness, deceit, tricks. Let's see what the blue there say. 1 Peter 2. Guile, deceit, subtlety, trick, bait. There was none of that found in his mouth. He kept his peace. So I just want to encourage sisters, you do not have to say anything back, because at the end of the day, we want to strive to be a Proverbs 31 woman. And we want to strive to be that Titus 2 woman. We want to strive to be. And if we're trying to do that, Proverbs 31 and 26 tells us to open our mouth with the law of kindness and with wisdom. She opened her mouth with wisdom, and her tongue is the law of kindness. So ultimately, at the end of the day, no matter who says something to you, you still have to strive to be a righteous woman. You cannot say nothing back crazy to them. You got to open your mouth with kindness and with wisdom. You cannot be cursing people at your mouth. You got to pray for them. You still have to try to be blameless as possible and work out your own salvation with trembling and fear. And I'm going to get 1 Corinthians 1 and 8. And it reads, who shall also confirm you unto the end, that you may be blameless in the day of our Lord Yahawah Bahasham. So the whole goal, sister, is to be blameless in the day of the Lord. And how can we be blameless and spotless if you please a man over the Lord? If you cussing people out just because they're cussing you out. It said Yahushua was reviled, but he didn't revile back. What does revile mean? Criticize in an abusive way, attack, slander, run down, denounce, defame. All that happens to Yahushua, but he didn't do it back. So even when brothers and sisters in your family or you're at the workplace, they revile you, they criticize you, they abuse you, they verbally abuse you, don't do it back. Try to be blameless as possible. That is what Yahushua did. That is what it means to be a servant of Yahushua. That is what it means to be bold for Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi as a woman. Strive to be like Yahawah, strive to be like our righteous foremothers. Because the goal is to get the kingdom of heaven. The goal is to be blameless. And if we want the kingdom of heaven, Matthew 20 and 22. Are you willing to drink of the baptism I am baptizing? And remember, the definition of baptism is afflictions. So if we want this kingdom of heaven, if we want to be crowned with everlasting life, if we truly want these things, we have to strive to be blameless and go through the same things Yahushua went through. But with that, I yield. I have nothing else to say. I give the floor to Yawanah.
Time. We just ended off with Revelations 2 and 10. Mighty points. Mighty points just brought out. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So that's the moral of the story of this slide. We will be given a crown of life if we be faithful unto death. Be faithful through the persecutions, through the trials, the tribulations, through what people say about you, what people do to you. Be faithful unto death. The worst of the worst can happen in this carnal flesh, in this carnal life. But if we stay faithful and stay in the spirit, we'll get that crown of life, most high willing. So,
Fine, and it's like you got it.
I was gonna say beautiful call. I needed it.
Definitely.
Well.
I need it as well because I've been, having my own tribulations with this. But it's Matthew 24 and 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So we got to endure to the end, sisters. That's the whole point. We have to endure until the very end so that Lord willing get that crown of life. But Lord willing, this is edifying. I know we wanted it to be an hour, but we couldn't quench the spirit. I should have known over an hour. But hey, call Yahawah Bahasham. Hey, we do this for Yahawah Bahasham and to edify our sisters and to help our sisters. So Lord willing, sisters got edified and built up through the spirit of Yahawah Bahasham. The goal is the kingdom, and if we want the kingdom, we have to be willing to endure and go through this. Remember to choose life. I'm gonna end off with this. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 7 and verse number 57. Pull it back up on the screen. We're gonna end it off with this, and then I'm gonna get off for real. I got stuff to do. I'm not saying it like I got stuff to do, like I'm trying to rush it, but trying to be wise. I want to make it clear. 2nd Ezra 7 and 57. All right, and I'm in it for a little bit. Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. So this is the condition of the battle. This is the condition of the battle. Being hated of our men, being laughed at, talked about, it's the condition of the battle. Deal with it. Period. Deal with it. If you want the kingdom, deal with it. That if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. This is the point. For this is the life whereof Moses spake unto the people while he lived, saying, choose thee life that thou mayest live. So that's the whole point. Choose life that you may live. Correct. Choose life. Choose Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Choose the commandments so that you may live. Does that mean live 200 years in this captivity? No. Live to get the kingdom of heaven. But with that, endure. Be bold. Tell the sisters about the truth. Don't be scared.
Don't you be
scared. Tell them. Be that light. Don't dim your light.
Don't trim thy ways to seek love.
Exactly.
All honor and glory goes to the Most High God, man. Call her Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi.
It is now Thursday. Sundown is a new day. So, Lord willing, y'all get everything y'all need to get done through the spirit for the Shabbat. Have a beautiful Shabbat prep. We almost at the end of the week. For those that believe it's the Friday, sundown, Saturday, Sabbath. So, we're almost, look, we got to keep it there, y'all. But we want that kingdom. This is what we got to go through. Acts 14 and 22. We cannot get the kingdom in heaven without much tribulation. So, don't think it's strange when you hate of all men. Okay? All right. Shalom. Kale Habashim Mashah.
Shalom.